Hello and welcome back to the Clubhouse. My name is Jo and this is Chris. And today we want to show you some of our old projects. So let's get started. So the first project we want to tell you about is this thing that Chris did around 4 years ago.
Yeah, I did I don't know, we had some extra cardboard laying around and I started messing around and ended up making a couple of guys and like a little, just for fun, some bubble lettering and stuff, nothing complicated. I really liked the medium, you know, working on the cardboard, and so I just started making these things for it. One led to another, and I guess the subject matter is kind of two parts. I have this like conceptual group. I have the nerds that are these like alien good guys, and these intergalactic zombies, which are the bad guys. It's a theme that started years ago, and I don't know exactly why, but one thing led to another, and now I have all these characters, nothing to do with them, except to put them on cardboard.
So you used a ballpoint pen and...
Yeah, standard, smaller, thinner paint markers that you get at your local arts and crafts store. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
So the next project is actually this clock that is behind us, and also this little
type thing. Yeah.
So
yeah. So basically, what we have here is what it is itself is toilet paper roll that I cut it lengthwise, and then unfolded it and made strips out of it. And with those strips, I made kind of 3D shapes, so numbers and letters. The idea came from, you showed me something.
Yes, I found a little magazine cover on Pinterest, and it had a photo of, I think, 2013 written with like cardboard sticking out, so it was kind of this 3D visual.
Yeah.
And
I don't know if it was cardboard. It was more like construction paper or something.
Yeah,
it was a finer paper.
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah.
And from my experience of actually doing this, I if you're gonna do it, I recommend doing it with the construction paper. It's much more malleable. Dealing with the already curved and very thick toilet paper roll was difficult. I think there's much easier ways to do it. But anyways, yeah. So how the idea came about? She showed me that, and she'd also showed me something a long time ago. I don't know whether it was from Pinterest or not, but there was like these toilet paper rolls. And this guy had done a similar thing where he had cut out these tiny, very intricate little characters and scenes. And he would place them, I guess, through slits, like mount them into the toilet paper roll, making this like miniature diorama that was very cool. So that's how I got to the toilet paper roll, from the image that she showed me. And so, yeah, one day I was just messing around and I was cutting them out, sticking them on paper, and so the idea for the clock came from a client from my day job. Gave me the ugliest clock you've ever seen in your entire life. And we said, you know, okay, we'll get rid of this, but it's a clock, we need a clock. Well, maybe we can take apart the mechanics of it and just use the basic guts of the clock, mount it on the wall, and then what can we do with the numbers and stuff? How are we going to make the numbers? And at the same time, I was doing that other thing, and you know, fate or whatever happened, and so we did it. We cut them out and made the clock that you see behind us. The clock itself, though, like the guts, that's what you see is not the original, not the one from my client. We were in Budapest,
yeah.
and at this place there was like a little like kind of bike fair at this place called Simpla Kert. It's kind of a ruin bar, but that's for another video to explain what the fuck that is. Anyways, we bought that cool looking bike thing from this guy that made all these bike themed clocks, and so yeah, that's that.
So how did you make them stick up? Like how come the letters they stick up like this?
I mean, I just use simple paper glue that dries clear, so you can't see it once it's like that. It was a liquid Uhu. Is the name? Yeah, is the name of the brand that I use that you can get everywhere in Austria. Every Austrian knows that. Probably Germans as well, I guess. And I guess Elmer's or something could probably work. Yeah, I used a toothpick and put it in the glue, and just so I could make a fine line right out there on the tip of it, so I didn't squish it all over everything. Yeah, and that's how I did that.
And the letters of the A tape?
Yeah, the letters on this one, again, from toilet paper roll. One difference is before with the clock, I had done this kind of two-tone thing. And this time I wanted to get like one solid color, and I couldn't, how would I do that? How would I have something exact same color? So I was like, well, I'll mount it on cardboard, which I did, but the color still was two-toned, but now not of not a very wide gradient, so it didn't look nice. And so we sprayed it. Sprayed it all one solid color with I guess Montana. Yeah, anyways, so did that one. It was easier to put it on the cardboard because there was less flex to the cardboard. It made it easier to glue the numbers or the letters and have them, I don't know, straight. Cool. So the third project that we're going to present is Johanna's project. I got to help a little bit, and her brothers got to help a little bit, but it was really Johanna. So you tell us about it.
So I made a cookbook for my mother, for my parents, for Christmas.
I think it was Christmas.
3 years ago, I think. And so it started like this. I'm a vegetarian, and my parents are not. And we started to get into cooking a lot, and we were like trying out our own things, and we were really excited about it, and we wanted to show our parents, how our lives have changed, and what we do now and how we do it, and yeah, and everybody loves to eat, so it was like a really nice.
Food is good.
Food is good, yeah. So what we did is we chose 6 of our favorite.
Just
dishes.
6.
Yeah.
Seemed like more.
6 of our favorite dishes,
Mm-hmm.
and we cooked all of them. And while we were cooking, we were like documenting it with photos. So it was either me cooking or me taking photos. And if I was not cooking, you were cooking, or my brothers were cooking, or our flatmate at the time was cooking, or the other way around.
Mm-hmm.
And then we made like a little book, and we put like the ingredients and the preparation and everything. So my parents, if they wanted to, they could copy it. And also, when we go there and they don't know what to cook for us because I don't eat meat, they can cook one of those dishes from the cookbook.
Yeah, hence the title.
Wishes for Dishes. That was the title, yeah.
Yeah.
So what I did is I used InDesign to... I used this camera that we are using now to film this video with. And
what kind of camera is it?
It's a Canon 5D. And we took the pictures. I obviously downloaded them to my computer, and I used InDesign to lay it out. And write all the ingredients and the preparations, and also write like a little introduction and explaining why we have chosen this dish to be in the book.
Yeah. What was the most difficult part for you in the whole process?
Well, for me, the most difficult thing is when I do this this kind of like private projects, is that you only have a certain amount of time, and you need to try and make the best in the time that you have, even though you might know that there is a lot of things to improve. You don't really have a choice. For example, I think our biggest problem was that our kitchen in the old house didn't have a lot of natural light. So we only had like a softbox that we used, but it was not a really good, it didn't have a really nice light. No. So the photos, they could have been much better just lighting wise. Yeah. Because of that. And a photo obviously in a layout is really, really important, and it can like totally set the mood. Yeah. But I think, that turned out okay.
Yeah. I mean, you did a lot of work. I could see like like grading the colors and everything, and and trying
lighting, making them lighter and things like this. Yeah.
Yeah, making them look nicer, making them look all fancy.
Yeah. So the last project we would like to show you today is this kind of like a Nerds adaptation wall that you did.
Oh yeah. I guess, you know, it's something like that Nerds thing I did on cardboard. This one I did on construction paper, or like heavy stock art paper. Yeah, it's a new thing actually. I did like a portrait series of some new characters, and I gave them all these names that were, I guess, quite simple, misspelled in a way, you know, because the characters are really goofy and kind of stupid looking. So I made it, you know, I made the writing in that same way, their names in the same way. And actually, I don't have a name for this family, so perhaps you could give me a name in the comments section below.
What pens did you use?
I use these really cool markers. They're called Touch. That's what they're called. I think they're from like I think it's a Korean company. I ordered them online. Just type in Touch, maybe twin markers, because they have like a broad end and a pointy end, a fine end and a not fine end on either end. And I use them to do this shading kind of technique that I used to do sometimes when, like, with graffiti writing or something. And it worked out really good with these guys. I really liked it. It gave some kind of a texture to their faces, making them pop on the paper. And then the outlines, I just used a hard felt-tipped black pen. Yeah.
And as a background, it was just like different colored construction paper.
It's right over there. That's why we keep looking in that direction. Say again.
As a background, you used this different colored construction paper and some cardboard, I see.
Oh, I did do one on cardboard. I forgot about that one piece. Oh no, 2. Maybe 3. I lied to you about not using cardboard in this one. But it looks like thinner cardboard. Oh, I also used a paint marker on 2 of them, just for fun, to see what it would do. I did one where I went over the whole thing, and another one where I did it just within the character's face. I really liked that texture. I might do something with that again.
Describe the texture.
You describe the texture.
Well, it's like the paint marker is out of paint, no?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So
because it's out of paint, it's like
I can't really use it anymore to draw anything normal, because the paint is it's going away. You know, so it's really it's not a solid thick line, splotchy, if you will. But if I use it to make the background, it makes for a nice texture, like
because
kind of a random.
the color comes in and out as it comes out of the pen. No?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, cool. Way to point that out. So that's it. That's all of our projects, and we hope you enjoyed it. We hope you liked what you saw. Maybe you were inspired by something, or maybe you have more questions about how we made it. Put that in the comments section below. Other than that about wraps it up for us here at the Clubhouse. So, see you later.
Bye.